Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis has a motto that says, Florida is where the woke goes to die. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Sunny Day. Welcome to FTV. Today, we're going to talk to Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, as some of y'all might know, I had to write a couple things down because I had to get this right here. So, Ron DeSantis came out banning the AP African American Studies course in Florida schools, AP meaning Advanced Placement. Now, he says the state is blocking AP course on African American Studies because it included the study of queer theory and political movements that advocated for abolishing prisons. Now, before we go any further, let's approach the queer theory. Queer theory is the lens used to explore and challenge how scholars, activists, artists, artistic texts, and the media perpetrate gender and sex-based binaries. Now, he says the queer theory and the movement that advocate for abolishing prisons, he said this is a political agenda being forced on kids, children, students. He said they believe, he said we, but they believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, not have an agenda, which is queer theory, imposed on them. Now, Christopher Tenzin, the chairman of the African American Studies Department at St. Louis University, says the course provides a comprehensive view of culture, literature, historical development, political movements, social movements, also explore the origins of African diaspora to Reconstruction, the Harlem Renaissance, and the Civil Rights Movement. The course also includes literature and the arts, science, politics, and geography. So that had me wondering, Mr. DeSantis, where did you get this thing about queer theory? He also said that the program is an indoctrination. Now, if we go look at indoctrination, it's the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs. Now, let's touch on that part. Because remember I said, DeSantis said we believe in teaching kids facts and how to think. Now, one of these things that he says is fact. He says that students shouldn't be taught that the U.S. was built on stolen land because it's not true. We want to teach these kids facts. Okay, so if we're going to teach these kids facts, can we start teaching these kids about Thanksgiving? That it wasn't a gathering of the Pilgrims and the Indians coming together, sitting down, eating, kumbaya and popping popcorn and all that. Rather than it was the Indians offering up their hospitality to the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims accepted, got what they can get, and then slaughtered the Indians and had them wiped out. Can we start telling kids that? Can we start telling the kids, because you said this is not racially motivated, so can we start telling the kids some truth about you? Because I got a few pieces, Governor DeSantis. Weren't you the one who signed the Stop Woke Act? You signed it into law last year. It restricts conversation about race in schools and businesses. You fired the elected prosecutor Andrew Warren from office after Warren said he will not prosecute providers of abortion and transgender treatments. Now, one thing I will say I agree with Governor DeSantis on. I do think homosexuality, any type of sexuality, shouldn't be pushed on kids. And I say this because when I was a kid, heterosexuality was not pushed on us. We had to leave the room or cover our eyes and hold our ears if we was watching a movie and if it was a man and a woman kissing. See, this is why people say leave the kids alone, because no sexuality should be put on kids. Let kids be kids. What will the point be into pushing the issue of teaching kids about homosexuality? They should be learning about crayons, colors, numbers, word association, things like that. But that's another story. Now, also, Governor DeSantis, he says that the reason why he want to ban this program because it's not of any educational value. But he says if the people who run this course can prove and come back to the table with lawful and historical accurate content, then he will, I guess, think about restoring the program. Now let's go back to what I just said. He said it holds no educational value. Now tell me, how does Black history doesn't hold any educational value when Black people helped build this country? We, America, plus other countries around the world, are using things that was invented by Black people to this day in their everyday life as a necessity. What can be more valuable pertaining to education than that? But just in case you don't know, maybe I should give you a little enlightenment, Mr. DeSantis. The computer, which was invented by a Black man named Dr. Mark Bean. All of these people I'm about to name off are Black inventors. That keep me from saying Black. Excuse me, let's go. Mr. DeSantis, are you listening? The internet, invented by Dr. Philip Mgwali, and I hope I'm saying that right. But Mr. Mgwali also was known as the Bill Gates of Africa, born in Nigeria in 1954. In 1989, he used 65,000 processors to invent the world's fastest computer. How about the reason why we're not late? The reason why we have the luxury of knowing if we're going to be late, on time, or early. Benjamin Banneker invented the first clock. But at 15 years old, he also invented an irrigation system to control water flow to crops. So farmers all across the world can thank him. Let's speed it up a little bit. Jerry Lawson invented the first video game console and cartridges. Gamers making a good living off playing video games can thank him for that. Excuse me for this lengthy video, but Mr. DeSantis need a little education, y'all. Dr. James Edward West invented the electric microphone that Alexa uses as her hardware today. Also, the reason why you were able to amplify that BS speech, that racially motivated speech you gave, you can thank Dr. James Edward West for that. Let's not forget about Madam C.J. Walker, a Black woman, invented a line of African hairline products in 1905, and also the first American woman to be a self-made millionaire. Oh, I got more. Charles Owen Bailiff invented the shampoo headrest. Salons all across the world can thank him. Lila Newman received a patent for the improved version of the hairbrush. Now, if you go look up Lila Newman and look up that hairbrush, it's only a certain type of people that use those kind of hairbrushes. I'm just saying. William Purvis improved the fountain pen. Oh, this is a big one. This is a big one. I wanted to say this for last, Mr. DeSantis, but I think you really need to know this. No, I'm going to skip that. We're going to come back to it. T.A. Carrington, the stove. Frederick Jones invented the automatic refrigeration system. The reason why our food can be shipped in trucks from state to state without going bad. Alice H. Parker invented the furnace, the central heating system, the one that you use in your mansions, your homes, your stores. We can thank Alice H. Parker for that. Granville T. Woods invented and improved the telephone transmitter and sold the patent to none other than Alexander Graham Bell. Thomas Edison tried to sue him, Mr. Woods, but lost. Louis Lattimore invented the filament. He improved the filament that goes inside the light bulb that helps the light bulb light up, But the big one that I want to hit you with, we all know George Washington Carver and his peanut, right? But did you know he also discovered over 300 uses for the peanut? Get ready for this one. He invented the peanut punch, antiseptic soap, baby massage cream, tan remover, face lotion, hand lotion, facial powder, shaving cream, dandruff cure, 17 different wood stains, 19 different dyes for leather, 30 different dyes for clothes, chili sauce, dried coffee, vinegar, iron tonic, laxatives, axle grease, which I'm trying to figure how you make that out of peanuts, diesel fuel, gasoline made from peanuts, glue, insecticides, linoleum, lubricating oil, nitroglycerin, printer's ink, and laundry soap. So there's a list of people who have good careers that got a lot to thank Mr. George Washington Carver for. Oh, this list goes on and on, but sir, African American history is of value. It is of great value. See, I understand your statement when you say what we want to do with history, and that is our standard for Black history, is just cut and dry history. So basically, you want to continue doing what this country been doing, what your ancestors done. Erase history, not the progress or the inventions. You want to erase the bad things your people did because you don't want your youth to understand how damaging, how terrible, how demonic, how evil and monstrous they people can be. And now in these days, you see your younger generation clenching on to the my people, younger generation. You see them clenching on. They loving everything they see, making dances on TikTok out of our culture, from our culture. So you want to continue to hide those bad things, those hangings, those lynchings. But we not going to let it happen, Mr. DeSantis. Your best bet is just to let it all play out because the information is here. You're not going to be able to wipe it off the internet like y'all did the definition for the word nigger. And what I mean by that, when I was a kid, I looked that word up in the Webster's Dictionary. It meant an ignorant act. That means any person, color, creed, could be a nigger because it's committing an ignorant act. But they wiped that out off of Google, and now in place of that definition, it says a racial slur. At first, it described a person, not a color, a person, a particular human person. And now it's just a racial slur. No, we will not be doing no abracadabra on Black history courses. So, Mr. DeSantis, Black people are tired. Black people done went through a lot. Black people has benefited from this country, but we also contributed to this country. I wish I could erase that, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. We also contributed to this country. When do we get our just due? And the only time we ask for just due is when we're being attacked constantly just from out of nowhere. You think Asian culture, German culture, and Spanish culture, which is important, but you think those are more important than African American history in America when African Americans helped build and shape this country. A lot of it. African American used to babysit your ancestors' kids, breastfeed them. They're giving chocolate milk to white babies. Just let that sink in. So many ways I wanted to come with this, but I think you should get the point by now. So many other things you could be addressing to improve this country. So many other things you could be addressing. Let's try to address those things and leave black folks and our history alone and out of it. Everybody else, like, hate, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Really don't matter. I just wanted to get my point to Mr. Governor Ron DeSantis. Find a way to stop all these hate crimes that's always seem to happen when election time is coming up. FTV, sunny day.